Okay, we're back. Tech Packs are due. The only footwear design podcast ever. Um, Kind of wanted to do something special. We all know our good friend Colin Tanner passed away about a week and a half ago now. So I kind of wanted to do something special for him. So I'm going to do a little intro, and then we're re-airing the episode where we talk about Colin getting his dream job. I think everyone's going to love it and enjoy it, but I thought I would take the time to intro it first and kind of talk about Colin as a friend. You know, one of the best people I've ever met, my buddy. Yeah, about 3 years ago, Colin calls me on the phone. And I was working at Brooks, going through a hard time. He calls me up wanting to get into footwear. And, a lot of people call me, but I don't know, just so quickly, so fast, we became friends. And, I counted all a joy and a blessing. He was reaching out. He just wanted to meet everybody. But the way he introduced himself was basically like, "Hi, I'm Colin. You're Jake Bergini. You're so cool. You're so awesome. Can I talk to you about shoes and footwear?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got time." I've received a lot of like emails and messages, asking for things, portfolio reviews, etc. But no one ever introduced themselves kind of like that. And knowing Colin, you just know that that's his personality and that's his energy. And after that first phone call, I quickly realized like we might be buds. Like we might be like friends after this. And the other thing I think is I try not to think I'm too special, because I think like Colin made everyone feel that way. That's just the type of person that he was. And over the last, it's crazy. Over the last month, I've had a lot of struggles. I've had a lot of battles. He's seen me at my highs, seen me at my lows. I've questioned whether or not I want to even do footwear. Like in the last 2 months, I've questioned everything I've built to this point. And he was there. And what's crazy about Colin is he was there if I wanted to jump ship, or he was there if I wanted to keep going. Largely his advice was like, "Hey man, you gotta keep going. But you don't have to do it here, there, wherever. You can do it wherever you want to be." But he also offered the advice, for those of you who don't know, up until, Colin worked his way into footwear. Just like everyone else, I feel like we all have this kind of origin story. Colin studied communications, somehow got into purple, worked his way into purple, somehow got into the industrial design position at purple. Then, through all that was basically told, you're not an industrial designer. You don't know how to do X, Y, Z, you don't have a degree in this. Was like, whatever, I just want to do footwear anyway. And they're like, "Well, how are you going to get into footwear? You can't do this. You don't know this. And Colin's whole thing was like just proving people wrong. And he came to me and I was like, "Hey, you know what? If you want to get into footwear, you got to get into pencil." And I helped him get into pencil. We worked together on his submissions. He applied multiple times. He got into a New Balance thing. He went in there and he slammed it. The one reason I wanted to even work with Colin was that he just breathed this enthusiasm, and he had this aura about him that he understood. He just needed places to show it. And I was like, "Dude, then let's go." And he man, he was so good at just like taking that and running with it. And he got into pencil and quickly became friends with E. Scott, with Dwayne, with his classmates, and he hit the ground running. But then like he got out of pencil and still couldn't get a job. And I'm telling you, he did not give up. But I want to share something too, though. There was a moment though when he almost like gave in. And I know he wouldn't mind me sharing this, which is why I want to share it, because in my hard times, in my struggles, he told me like, hey, there was a time where he was working at the bike shop where he's like, I don't think I'm going to make it into footwear. I don't think I'm going to keep trying. And I was like, all right. And he told me one time, this is after he got into Nike. He told me like I'd succumb to like that I was never going to make it. And he's like, and in that moment I found something. He's like, I want to tell you, like, I think there is no shame in taking a job that's going to provide for your family. He's like, I just had this great feeling that there's no shame in doing what you got to do to be a man, to provide. And that stuck with me. At the same token, like he was always the guy who would just say, you know what though? Like, screw that, screw them, screw whatever. You're Jake Bergini. People, of course, they want to talk to you. Everyone wants to talk to you. If you apply to a job, expect them to answer back. They're going to want to talk to you. And every time I'd say like, oh, well, I got this interview and I got this interview, or I got this, or I'm doing that, or, oh, I've got this shoe coming out. He's like, of course you do, because you're Jake Bergini and you're killing it. And I was like, man. So I'm always going to remember that, that enthusiasm and just the person Caulin was. And so naturally, like, you know, I hung out with him a lot over the last month. He was at Robin's episode. We got dinner after. He invited me to a Portland Trailblazers game. He had an extra seat that a friend had given him. And, you know, we just like hung out. We shot the breeze. We talked life. He was that kind of friend that you just like wanted to talk to. He always had the right stuff to say. You know, he just was always a shoulder. And a good hang. I mean, the guy was funny. And when we were at that Blazers game, he's just cutting it up with people. He spent his time in the Blazers game talking to people, trying to get like a friend, like a friend of a friend of a friend. Like not even like, you know, not even like his pal, right? Like a guy that he knows. He was trying to get him a job, like at Nike. He spent his time like, hey, shoot me your resume. Oh, send this to here, 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 and here. Talk to this person. Like, I mean, just like absolutely just like freely giving all the time. I mean, just crazy. It's irreplaceable. And so like naturally, that kind of brings us into the podcast. I started this podcast. At first I kind of threw it Colin's way and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting this. And he's like, you should definitely do that. There's a gap. No one's doing it. You should do it. And I was like, okay, cool. So I did the first few episodes and then I thought, you know what? Like Colin's cool. We talk all the time. Should have him on. He's great at networking. He doesn't even have a job in footwear yet, but it doesn't matter. He knows everybody. He somehow, like this type of person Caulin is, he somehow like got himself into a party with Tinker Hatfield and Toby and like Aaron Cooper and Eric Avar and like all these people. Like he's just there. Like it's like all these like super like well-known footwear designers and like Caulin. And I'm like, dude, how are you there? He would text me like, dude, check where I am. And he selfies with like Tinker Hatfield. And I'm like, dude, how are you there? He's like, dude, just talk to people. You just got to get to know people. You just got to put your arm around people and say, hey. And like anyone that I talk to, I'd be like, oh, I just met this guy. He's like, oh, I've known that guy for years. Or, oh, I've talked to that guy like 4 months ago. It was just like, uh, it was amazing. And that's just again, that's the type of person he was. Like, when we went and got lunch a couple weeks ago, we walked into the store, and he's just chatting it up with all the employees. And he's just like, yo, like, what do you want? You want this? You want this? You want this? Oh, my dime. I got that. And I'm like, how do I say no? And, before I know it, he's like fast friends with the people behind the counter, and they're just hooking us up with food. And I'm like, I'm from, the South has kind of that type of stuff, and like there's Southern charm and stuff, but like there's a difference between that and like big Texas, and Texas personality. And I mean, man, that's just like, I would hope to have that at some point. I mean, there's just something about him that he could just like bring anybody in and make them feel like they're it. And the food was great. Like, if I have to say it. But I want to get down to like him coming on the podcast, and then we can get to the episode. But I try to keep like at this show, I've tried to keep like my personal life, beliefs, politics, all these things out of the show. Over the past few weeks, like it's really hit me. When Caulin left the show because he got his job, he had to like kind of formally bow out and say, hey man, now he doesn't want me to do the show. It's totally fine. I get it. Like, it's such a big corporation. There's all this stuff going on, whatever. So Caulin had to leave, and I was pretty heartbroken. And part of me was like, why am I doing this show? Like, why am I doing anything? I'm just talking to a camera. Can't see the reaction, can't see the people, can't see if I'm making any impact. I mean, we're closing in on 500 subscribers, which Caulin and I were celebrating for even breaking 200. We were like pumped about that. So to be almost like to be double that and to almost be at 500 is pretty crazy. But there was this time after Caulin left the show where I was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this show? Is it worth it? It doesn't pay. It's really time consuming. Like, what am I doing? And I just kind of questioned the purpose of the whole thing. And a lot of times you all don't even notice that because, maybe we'll just go quiet for a month and we don't, we're not saying anything. And, quietly I'm wondering like, what am I doing? But just personally, like, I just want to say, like, I believe in God. I believe in a higher power. I believe there's life beyond this life. I believe there's purpose for our life. I believe that God's involved. And I believe this wholeheartedly. And after Caulin passed, I just like thinking on the purpose of this show, it hit me so hard that part of the purpose of the show, at least in part, maybe more than part, maybe more than half, I don't know. A major part of this show is capturing my friend, my buddy Caulin Tanner. Preserving him, preserving his thoughts, his personality. The internet's forever. And I have copies here too, so it's forever and backed up. My friend's words, his guidance, his smile, his laugh, his everything. It just hit me like that is one of the purposes of this show. To preserve him for future generations, to preserve this person who loved footwear, who loved talking about it. I mean, it just like oozed out of him. But I know that that is part of this show. I know that's one of the reasons. And honestly, for Colin's family, friends, coworkers, whoever, certainly his wife, if anyone ever needs a reminder of who he is and who he was, I truly offer this show as a gift to them. To anyone who needs to be reminded of the type of person Caulin was. I really feel like that is a major reason for this show. And I believe that. Because in the times that I wanted to quit, I felt something urging me to continue. Before Caulin, after Caulin, now. And I feel like some of that is for helping people get into this industry. And another portion of that is so that people can revisit the person Caulin is, Caulin was, Caulin is today. All right. So with that, I want you guys to enjoy this episode. Maybe you'll listen to it, maybe you won't. But I just wanted to put this episode back up. We called it the lost episode, but I want to put it back up so everyone can relive and refeel the enthusiasm that my friend had for getting his dream job. And to have this be as a token of remembrance for him, and something we all can enjoy, can look back on, and just remember Caulin. So things aren't going to be the same. It's like I really felt that day when I got the text that he'd passed that I was shocked, and I felt that like light had left the world. It sucks that I'm never going to be able to just call my buddy up again and just be like, hey, I'm having a hard time. What do I do? Or, hey, dude, you want to go, get lunch or whatever? It really sucks. I'm not a guy who brings a lot of people in. But one thing I know is there's purpose behind this. And the other thing I know is that I almost can feel him here still. I can feel him like in what he would say and the situations I've gone through, even in the last week and a half. I can just like hear his voice being like, dude, nah, or like, dude, yeah, or like, dude, cut that off and go, or like, dude, just go chill and hang with your kids, man. Go hang with your family. Just let all this stuff go. Like, or dude, definitely that's a sick concept. Oh, that's a sick shoe, dude. Post that. I can just hear him, and so I don't feel like he's gone, but I do feel like it's hard to move forward when you can't just go hang, All right, and so in memorial and in remembrance of him, we're always going to say now that Tech Packs Are Due is the only footwear design podcast ever. And I'm just going to say that in total remembrance of Caulin from here on out. Because we're the only footwear design podcast ever. So enjoy this episode, this re-airing of this episode. I hope you guys just get a sense of the enthusiasm of Caulin getting his dream job and stepping foot on the Nike campus, and just I remember he just texted me just like, this is the craziest thing ever. So he got to contribute a verse, and I hope you all just remember that life is precious and that you live it, really live it, hopefully with people you love, with laughter, with joy, not let things get to you too much. And just remember to just enjoy the ride. There's ups and downs. There's people who pass. There's people who are here. I don't understand it all. I don't understand, why Caulin's gone, but do know that there is purpose behind it. And I hope we can all find that. move forward and, live as Caulin would live, be the friend that Caulin would want us to be. Again, enjoy this episode. We will be back. We'll have more content. We are only just starting. And we'll see you next time. Tech packs are due. All right. We are here. Tech packs are due. The only footwear podcast
ever.
The
only footwear podcast ever.
The only one. In-depth shoe talk for your ear and brain and mind.
And your soul.
As done by industry insiders, people inside the situation. I am Jake, the senior, and Caulin is
footwear material designer.
Bang. Boom.
Let's go.
So look at that. We said it was going to happen, and we manifested it. We spoke it into the universe. We kept speaking it into the universe.
We kept speaking for 8 years, and we're
like, hey, if you do it, if you just keep believing, and also being a good person and networking and talking and keep working on your own skills, you get it.
Yeah, you'll get there.
Wow. You've crossed the threshold, man.
We have crossed the threshold. This is many people tell me it's like, this is from here. It's like everything's pretty much, yeah. Like the hardest step has been hurdled.
Yeah. I just saw a thing with like Dave Portnoy from Barstool. He was like, it's hard to get that first bit of money. And then once you get it, it just keeps coming. I'm like, dang.
I'm trying to be like that.
All right. So you got that taste. It's on now, man. I don't even know what's opened up now, and your experience is just gonna stack, and then before you know it, you're just a go-to.
Yep. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Don't give up. I was super close to giving up this year.
I could tell. Caulin was doing everything but footwear for like 12 months.
I was like,
oh man.
It was, hey, it's not for lack of trying, man.
Yeah. He was just, it was what is it? A quiet quit. It was just kind of like, I'm just going to do other things.
I'm just going to be over here for now. Just going to wait out the storm.
But hey, you know what?
Hey, it all paid off.
You stuck it out. And, man, I'm telling you, I've known, I think there's a reason why I have you as my co-host. It's not because you're Joe Blow down the street who likes shoes. It's because I know you've got the skills to get in there, and well, when you know it, I was right. We
said it.
We picked the right one.
Exactly.
Sweet, dude. Well, hey, congrats. It's the first time we've had you on to tell you congrats.
Thank you. It's been a wild ride, so hopefully from here a lot more consistent. I'll be there with you. I'll be in the garage even. I'll be next to the TPD sign. We'll have to
come to the garage.
Yeah, exactly. The only footwear design podcast in a garage.
That's right. The only one that smells the trash. The only one. The only one. I mean, we might have to freshen it up. We'll We'll put the trash cans outside during the podcast or
I'm doing a
something.
little weekend project. We'll we'll get some paint on
Yeah.
the walls. We'll do some.
We'll finish it. We'll finish the rest. I don't know, man.
Hey, it's okay.
Uh,
But
hey,
hey,
but you know,
everyone's got to like and subscribe so that we
yeah,
can afford to paint the garage.
yeah, yeah. Like and
help us get
subscribe,
help us get to 1 gallon of paint.
dude. So here's my thing about this, and if I can make this in a reel, I'm gonna do it.
Mm,
I don't understand how it is that we mounted 100 Instagram subscribers posting one reel.
yeah.
And I'm like, I know it's pretty easy to hit follow on Instagram and all that stuff. But if we were at 500 on YouTube, come on, man.
Yeah, just click the link in the bio. Go over to the YouTube channel. Give us a
Just
like and subscribe.
that's the content is only going to be great over there. I'm not going to be posting full sketch sessions split apart on Instagram.
Yeah, come on.
Okay?
Part
And then when we start doing 3D
78.
stuff, it's not gonna show up there. So
It's not
if
gonna be
you're
there.
I'm gonna post stuff on Spotify, but that's only if you're like got some kind of YouTube phobia or like
Mm,
some
mm,
PTSD YouTube. Like,
yeah, or you don't
but
like
we're gonna
ads or something like.
yeah, yeah, we're gonna be there. That's where this is like the full experience is on YouTube. So
Yes,
go there, like and subscribe.
like and subscribe.
It's a good time to also throw out our awesome disclaimer since we are professional
Yeah.
footwear designer workers. That none of our views represent our employers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Past, present,
just,
or future. It's just
yeah,
our
like
opinions. What we're talking about right now has
this is
nothing to do
just
with the
two,
people. Yeah, that pay us.
it's just two dudes being guys.
Yes, two guys being dudes in the
Yeah,
garage. Spec Packs are
that's
due.
that's right. I think everyone gets that by now. We've got a lot of content at this point, over 30 episodes of stuff. And so, I don't know of any other shoe design stuff out there that has over 30 hours worth of content. But you can blow through what we talk about. I mean, even in the early days, I think we were giving out the good stuff,
Oh yeah.
30, 60 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes.
I think we were still talking about good stuff. And there's still more stuff. Like we've been talking about this since the jump. Like I need to go back into my story.
Mm-hmm.
I know, Colin, you were talking about like, hey, look, when are we going to talk to you about drumming and footwear? I'm like,
yeah, the intersection.
I'm like, good thoughts there. And now that you're coming up here, I'm sure we'll get to more of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's just a lot. It's a deep well, and we're gonna keep going. Speaking of which, I have now confirmed and lined up guests. I am traveling to the East Coast
Woo!
for multiple reasons to hang out with some family, but also
The other
I will be taking a little quick trip up to Boston. Not going to tell you who we're getting, but he's been mentioned before by Seth Maxwell. And it's I want to say, like, so far the guests have only been heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And
100%.
they're going to be still heavy hitters.
Yeah. I mean, I think.
Well, I would say, except for Brian. Poor Brian. Just,
hey, he's a giant amongst giants now.
Hey, too many footwear designers know who he is now. It's like,
hey, now they know
whatever.
to patent their board games before they introduce.
Yeah. So we got that going on. I also have another guest that we've laid out, and then we'll also be who is a material developer. That's going to be
that's a big deal.
So in depth and so just like a different level of detail.
Mm-hmm.
She's dope. I worked with her I can't even tell you how material developers are just the I mean, they get in with like microscopes and they're just like
Yeah.
looking at material
It's where it all
under.
like comes together too. That's like where all the performance characteristics come in.
Yep.
That's where all the like they know your sport and they know the scientific background that like matches your sport and
Yep.
makes the shoe work. So material development's a huge deal.
It's and not only that, it's like they can recommend,
Yeah.
and they can go back to suppliers and say, hey, can we get this, beef this up, take
Mm-hmm.
this down?
Yeah.
Can we air it out? Whatever. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then they have, man, just machine knowledge, just so much. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we're
100%.
pumped about that one. So we're lined up. And we have people waiting in the wings still. I talked about that last time. These people that we're getting are not even the people that I talked about last time that I've been leading on. They're like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Yeah, you'll get on soon. You'll
Yeah,
get.
don't you worry about it.
Yeah,
Come
we
on,
got
guys.
you."
Give us a little time. We're the only footwear podcast ever. You know,
Hey,
we
two guys once a week, and I can maybe make a guest work once a month.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
and then we haven't even gotten Ian on, and so we've got to
Yeah,
get
that's gonna come up. So
dead stock Ian on because man, it's gonna be that one's gonna be live. That's gonna be a hot one.
yeah,
Um,
I agree.
so like and subscribe. Be ready. It's gonna roll out. We got the rest of the year looking pretty good. Hey, and we've been doing this for a year now. Or
What?
close to it.
That is pretty
Yeah.
wild. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Since inception.
So and we're 185 followers. We're so close.
Whoa.
15 away from hitting
Yeah.
the big 200.
Breaking 200.
Yeah, so please, please, please continue to stay with us, and we'll just keep making it better and better,
Yeah, and like let us know
slowly
what
and
you want to
surely.
see too. Like this
Yeah,
is a feedback loop, so you want to see more people in the development side, you want to see more people in the product line management side. Like that's all part of this.
yep,
You'll find out when you work at a company if that's kind of your goal through watching this, is to work at a company. Like you'll find that that's part of the ecosystem. You work as a team with these people.
yeah,
So footwear design is part of it. It's a big
yeah,
part of it, but also there's a lot of other stuff that has to happen to bring something to market and for it to be great.
yeah.
So
So we hope we get enough of these people, and we've only had like one on. Like
yeah,
it's like I've only had one product line manager. That's one way. That's one person's view on that job.
yeah,
Everyone else has different experiences that have them approach a job differently. So it's it's a bear, and we're tackling it slowly but surely.
mm-hmm.
Uh, man, but a lot to be excited about. I think we're the tip of the iceberg. We just got to
100%.
keep it rolling.
Mm-hmm.
This episode, I tried to make myself equal in size with Colin. If you've noticed some of our previous episodes, I'm like this big, and Colin's like filling his whole screen.
It's because I'm like right up against my monitor. I think you're like
Yeah, so
across from a desk, right? Like,
yeah, so
okay,
I'm trying to like move closer.
cool.
Oh, brother. And because we're getting bigger, hey, we actually had a reel that like
Went
is
off.
currently or almost at 7,000 views on Instagram.
Wow.
Can't believe I'd ever say that. I thought like 2K was like, yeah, we're doing good. Anytime I hit like break 1,000, I'm like, sweet, that's
Yeah,
good
yeah,
enough.
yeah,
7,000 is interesting.
yeah.
Like,
That's where things start to move.
I think I'm glad success comes in like slowly, like a trickle, because
Yeah.
I'm like looking at that number count. I'm like, I don't even know what to do with this. Like, what is that? Like, um, so much so that like we have people like commenting, like we're moving people emotionally now. Like,
Yeah, people are getting upset,
yeah, like we had
showing
someone
off
who
their
said,
knowledge.
yeah, well, we had someone who said, hey, I like the cord on the Jordan 40, and I'm like, what? what am I supposed to do with that? Like,
Cool.
like,
Hey, it's okay.
all
I'm
right.
that's me and that person. That's just
Yeah.
us.
There's
Cause
a lot of
before
people.
before we started recording, I said, Jake, I don't know. I gotta say, I really liked the 40 before you sketched over.
Like,
I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
Colin's telling me the episode that I made is nothing. Like,
I'm
because I already
kidding. Oh my goodness.
you're like, hey man, I know you made that whole episode took hours, but I don't agree with it at
Dude,
all.
hey, I think it's cool. I think you did a good job. I think it's great. I prefer the Jordan 40 as is. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
And
just
that's fine.
kidding.
And so did this guy. But I'm like he's like, it's a cord for support. I'm like, I doubt it's for support, but that's fine.
I wouldn't say it's for support. I think my my opinion from last episode was like, it's just a little something. It's a premium hit. Like, it's just
Yeah.
there. Break up the space a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing it's doing. Okay. Okay. But then we had another comment on our when we were talking about the AE1
Yeah, the whole
versus the
my hot take.
uh yeah, versus the the GT Future, which man, that's so dope. I can't wait. And
It's so
the GT
sick.
Cut 4
Hmm.
and man, the LeBron 23, you talked about that last episode
Yeah, I
because
saw that.
I'm like okay. So a lot of I mean, I'm just a sucker for like very streamlined,
Hmm.
clear communication shoes, and like
Yeah.
all of those are like one read,
Yep.
like
Just in
really
front of you.
nicely.
Yeah.
It's like
It's nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really
Like,
nice. Yeah.
and I mean, I will drink from the fire hose on that one. But it was funny. The the comment was essentially like, "You guys are uninformed." Like the GT the or like the GT Cup 4 is like a callback to the Flight Posit or Flight Pro or something from like Gary Payton days, and I'm like,
I mean,
is it though?
to
Like,
to me, all that does is play perfectly into my opinion that I expressed in that clip, which is that I felt like it's a bit of like a clapback, a little bit of a like, look what we can do.
yeah,
That it's like a team model that feels like a signature. And
yeah,
this dude basically just said it's influenced by a signature model. It's like, yeah.
yeah,
like like
yeah,
look what Nike can do. They can take a backlog of signature models and influence a team shoe that looks super sick, and then you can
yeah.
hold it up against an Adidas signature model and
Signature.
be like, like, which
That's
one?
yeah, that's pretty intense,
Yeah.
actually.
Thanks for the comment. Keep
Yeah,
liking and
thanks.
subscribing. Thanks for commenting, and thank you for playing into my opinion, because I think
Yeah,
it's exactly what I said.
I mean, I like it. I think it's funny. Like, we've had a lot of comments, like, someone said, like, why can't you draw over a Leo Cheng shoe? Like, shouldn't that just be allowed? Like, why is that not? And I'm like, well,
Well, he did
uh,
it.
it's like, yeah, but I feel like in you get into the world, you get into this space, like, I feel like sometimes, and it's dependent on designer to designer.
Yeah.
Some people have a hard time separating
Hmm. Hmm.
themselves from their work. And
Yeah.
so, like, this is just me. I saw something that I wanted to put out into the world.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's more of an exercise on those sketch sessions. It's not me saying, like, you suck and you should have saw this. It's more of just like, hey, I see this and it's a way to help us look at shoes. And
100%.
like, there was a lot of things that I said in that episode that I didn't know I was going to say, where
Hmm.
just because the Jordan is split up in so many pieces and there's so many
Yeah.
ways you can like block, that's like
Yeah.
super awesome.
And then
um
not only that, but like it gives other designers, like if we were going to think about this in like in in terms of like if you were the one working on this shoe and you had a team of people who were going to bust out inline colors and material ways for this shoe specifically,
yeah,
breaking it up the way that you did gives them, it affords them a little bit more like opportunity to do things, right?
Yeah.
And so you got to think
And
about sometimes when you're as a designer is like you're thinking about all of these different inputs that can happen. Obviously you're designing for the athlete. Obviously you're designing for the brand, but then you're also designing like there are other designers on this team who need to be able to shine and do their
yeah.
work and tell these stories. And if I just give them a blank canvas that has no opportunities to tell those stories,
Yeah.
then it becomes really difficult for them to do their jobs and to do it well.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like, I say this a lot, but I don't know if my viewpoint is changing on this. Like, we, you used to be like, I used to be like, well, once you design a shoe, then you're hands off. Like, when you pass that on,
Mm-hmm.
someone's going to take your creative work in the company and then they're going to apply material and
Mm-hmm.
color,
Yep.
and they're going to like use what you've created to create,
Yep.
and they're going to paint on it. But my viewpoint is changing now. Whereas, like, I think if you create something, you need to show like maybe the blockings that you're thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
you need to show how you maybe have envisioned color to be applied.
Yeah.
So they're not just like,
Doing
oh,
what? Yeah.
I'm just going to do this and this. And maybe like by showing them your vision, you kind of allow them to work within that or see other ways they can spin
That's
it as well. So it's like
that's working
when you're
together, right?
passing on creative information,
Yeah.
I don't think you're ever like holding someone back by saying like, this is how I see it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, here's one way to interpret, and
Mm-hmm.
this is how I saw it in my mind. But if you want to, like,
Yeah.
obviously you're going to create, that's, that's how I've evolved in the
Yeah.
last like 9-10 years. Is like, I used to just, because I was afraid, like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to
Yeah.
like tell anyone how to do anything.
Yeah.
Just want to be like, you're creative, you're smart. Here's my shoe. Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I'm
Sharing the
evolving.
creative vision. I think sharing the creative vision makes a better product too, because that's truly collaboration rather than just passing something off
Yeah.
and just saying, "All right, go take it." Which I mean, there are products that kind of deem that sort of process,
Yeah.
so that will happen. Another thing I
Yeah.
want to say too is I like this person's comment about like, oh, what's wrong with drawing over a Chang shoe. A lot of people come from like the industrial design background where in industrial design it's like all the sketches are like nobody really saves sketches. Nobody really cares about the sketches. The sketches are like to get to the finished product in a way.
Mm,
And so if someone comes over and has a good idea and like sketches over it, I think you learn from a very early on that like sketches are not precious. They're things to work through ideas or whatever.
yeah.
But I think that makes a lot of sense for industrial design product where like a lot of it is like rounded squares or like stuff like there's not a lot of like emotionality behind it. There's not a lot of I mean
Yeah.
there is, don't get me wrong, but a lot of it is very consumer focused and not necessarily like emotionally focused. So I
Yeah.
think when you see like automotive, the way that automotive takes it, like that's what how you were inspired to do these drawovers was like you were looking at automotive guys and like their whole thing is, hey man, that's cool, that's a cool line, I think it could be cool to do this or that, and
Yeah.
they're doing like a very expressive version of sketching over. In industrial design you sketch over all the time, other things to get to the right whatever, but it's less emotionally driven or aesthetically, I mean it is
Yeah.
aesthetically driven, but um I think in an industry like footwear, where there wasn't previously like a very clear career or education path to get to footwear, you hold all of your sketches, all of your work like really close to you, and all of these people, Leo Chang especially, have worked really, really hard to get to where they are, and
Yeah.
so it can be sometimes seen as a slight that you're like, oh, I could have done it better, or there's
Yeah.
that kind of ego play that comes into it, but the all of that is to say, if you come at it from the right perspective, where you're like, hey, this is an exercise, like you're saying, for me to see what it would have been like to work on this shoe, or like you
Yeah.
can sometimes when you're doing those things, like you'll basically walk in the path of the person who designed it, because they probably thought of all the things that you're coming up with, but
Yeah.
for one reason or another they decided to divert, which is what makes your perspective as a designer different from one
Right.
person to the next. Is you decide to hop from one thing to the next thing, one
Yeah.
reference to the next reference. Um, and designers have different strengths too. Like I think
Yeah.
you do a good job of making a shoe like feel like there's individual moments, but they're all very harmonious, and your lines all reference each other. I think that's like something. But then there's also
Yeah.
designers who like none of their lines reference each other, but they somehow still feel cohesive and interesting.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like
Yeah.
it all makes you a
It,
better designer.
yeah. It's yeah, I definitely, and I've seen it work
Mm-hmm.
every both ways, like I've been with people where like they draw a design out and I'm like, man, I don't see how that's going to like pan out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then they go and tech pack it and make it, and then when it comes back you're like, "Oh,
Oh, I
like
see.
got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Cool." Like and so it doesn't always like, I don't know. You're never going to agree with everybody. But you try to find what works, and then yeah, I don't know. It is just an exercise, like,
Yeah.
and I think if you approach it like that, that's cool. But I think if you're taking it and saying like, yeah, like Colin said, like I can do better, you probably can't do better than Leo Chang, especially if like you're you have not designed shoes before. Like
Yeah.
you're not. Yeah, it's like I've seen it enough where like people come in thinking they're going to be a hot shot and then they just get shot down. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
And that can kill your momentum too. Like maybe you were gonna be a hot shot and you just
yeah,
didn't know because you got shot down.
it maybe your momentum and maybe also your whole career. Like you pick the wrong fight with the wrong person and you're
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
It's because it is small, and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
it's a balancing act too, because I realize I'm one of the more public footwear designers,
mm-hmm.
um, mainly because I think there's more to do than just design shoes. There's like
Yeah,
other avenues to go, but so I want to be careful with how I portray myself, especially when
yeah.
it comes to like people that I know who are, I'm not, I don't ever want to square up with Leo Chang and be like, let's do it,
Yeah.
one sketch, winner take all, like I don't want to be a part of that. I want
Dueling
to
sketches.
just, yeah, just inform and help, and
Yeah.
hopefully help people see what I see, or help people see what Leo sees. So
Yeah.
whatever. It's just funny that we're moving people now.
Yeah.
Like how is it that we even have any kind of power that way? I don't know. Like if you're if you're giving us you're giving us that power. Like I'm not
Yeah.
coming to,
Yeah. I'm
to
not
like
coming to you to yeah.
I'm just having a good time. I'm not like trying to make any statements. I just think, man, Nike's killing it in basketball.
Yeah. 100%.
And is it referencing that Gary Payton shoe? That you're not behind the curtain, like unless they came out and said like, "Yo, I was looking at this glove shoe back in the day." Like,
And that's what it's inspired by. I mean,
yeah,
another thing too is like I feel like when you work at a brand like Nike, you're already gonna reference like this backlog of because you're
yeah,
probably working at Nike because you love it and
yeah,
because you already know all of the references that you love.
yeah,
Again, this goes into like having the perspective as a footwear designer. It's like Jake coming up on basketball, but then being in running and training like influences how he designs shoes and how he makes shoes, right?
yeah,
And so like you can feel some of that emotion, some of that experience in the work that you produce. And
yeah,
so obviously like I don't know, everything is iterative. So there's a little bit of everything that you've ever seen and done in every product you make.
yeah.
Um and so, this is just a
And
whatever. But
and
if
it,
there is a reference, thanks for letting us know.
yeah, right.
Continue to comment. Let us know what the other references are.
Yeah, please bring it up. Yeah, and the what was it, the other thing, like, oh, and I mean it's clearly seen in running. They just do the waffle and they
Mm-hmm.
reinvent it every time, and
And it's cool
every
looking.
time there's like a little cool spin
Yeah.
on it that's
Yeah.
different than it has been before. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, I don't know. They just grab what they have, like, and why it's working, so you like they have that market cornered. Like I don't think anyone's gonna dare put squares like on their running product. And
Yeah,
so Nike leans into it and it works, and
it's
whatever.
part of the heritage.
Um I don't have to explain myself. So like, so that's happening. I mean, hey, if we're moving people, then we're on the right track.
Yep.
We're actually getting comments. Usually it's just like my buddies being like, "Good work, man." Like it's so
Jake is famous.
keep it up. And so you're like, "Cool." Um all right. Well, I think that's where we're at. So we when Colin gets up here, we're gonna hit the portfolio thing.
Hmm. Yeah.
We want to do it in person because we need to kind of figure it out, like
Yeah.
how we
Yeah.
want
What
to
the
shoot
form?
it.
Yeah. What the format's gonna be?
Yeah, so we're working on that. Just let everybody know. And then,
We won't
man,
make fun of your work. We promise. We won't make. We won't draw over your work.
oh, I'm drawing over people's work. That's happening for sure.
I think
Uh,
that's you got to charge extra for that though.
yeah, I think there's a point where there's gonna be some kind of paywall, but
I think
until
one of the
then,
first interactions we've ever had, I was sketching one day on my iPad and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna send this to Jake. I think that's kind of cool." And then 20 minutes later, I get a completely different sketch that's that's drawn over. I
oh
was like,
man,
"Whoa, I didn't think about that. That's really cool."
wait, I did that. I didn't
Yeah,
even tell you. I was
yeah,
just like,
yeah, yeah. You did. I sent you a sketch and you're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And then you like made a whole like rendering of it.
whoops.
Hey, it was good. It's like seeing another perspective is good.
Yeah. It's just fun. I don't know. And I feel like the longer I do it, the faster I am at it. So it like
Oh yeah.
doesn't feel like a burden to just be like, boom, color, bam, render, throw it over to like throw it into Newark or something, or
Yeah,
throw
yeah,
it
yeah.
into Viscom, bam,
Yeah.
bam, and like,
Bada bing.
yeah, all right, here you go.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah. I like I
you're
was
just
like,
like,
whoa, I was not expecting that. That's cool.
hey, okay. Oh man. Um yeah, so okay. Well, I think really all we want to do this week is kind of just catch up with Colin, see how he's doing,
Hmm.
see how he's adjusting to the weight of his new the new mantle on his
Yes.
shoulders that he has
Yes.
to carry. Um, oh, I was. We can maybe catch that at the end. I'm running a
Hood to
relay race.
coast.
Yeah,
Yeah. If you're
maybe we
not,
catch that at the end or
yeah,
something.
we
But
can talk about it at the end.
yeah. Um, well, this is the first time I think I'm actually interviewing Colin. Like we're usually just having a conversation,
Shooting the
shooting the
breeze.
stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Um, dude, man. So what's it? We've all want to be at Nike at some point, but some of us haven't exactly made it. So,
Oh man. Ah, dude, it's
uh,
a dream. It's a dream come true, man. It's my first day I got there at 7 a.m. and I just walked around the campus. Seriously,
it's-
like I just walked around and like soaked it all in and took pictures and misty eyed by around the lake,
yeah, you're like, I I can't be kicked off. Like I can't. I'm allowed to be here. Like,
I know. It felt like a little imposter syndrome at first, but I feel like that's a big thing that we should maybe, do a little podcast episode on because I feel like that happens a lot in our industry is the imposter syndrome situation.
oh man,
Um, but yeah, and like just threw me into the deep end and getting to work, and I'm excited. A lot of really cool product that I get to work on.
right,
Um, some I'm working in footwear materials, so it's a new like kind of part of my brain that I have to flex a little differently. Like coming from um, the industrial design background in purple, and then just all the little small startup companies in apparel and footwear. when you work at a smaller brand, or when you work at a company that like just has a design arm and a development arm, you often do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
You're in charge of not only colors but materials, and you're not only in charge of the design of the silhouette and getting it made at a factory, but your handoff isn't until much later when production needs to happen, and that's when you pass it off to development situation. And that's kind of how I've worked in the past, and this is like a version of that. It's just different, and getting to know that
Mm-hmm.
process is good. um yeah, having to flex my brain to know that like I'm not picking colors, I'm just picking materials. And so like
Yeah.
you're having to like think a little bit more granular. You're like, okay, I want it to have this hand feel and this texture, or this weight and this size, or these performance capabilities, breathability here, or XYZ. um, those are all kind of not necessarily new things, but it's new for me to focus on those only.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's been interesting, being in materials so far. Obviously, it's only been like a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So
Yeah.
that's what I've been feeling a lot is, it's just time to get to work. I've worked I mean, this is going to be cool for a lot of people who are trying to get in, which is a lot of our like listener base, watcher
Yeah.
base.
Huge.
Um, I decided I wanted to be in the footwear industry about 8 years ago. And that's when I started to really focus on. At first, I was just like, let me get some professional design experience in, and that's how I found my way to doing apparel design and development. And
Right.
then that's after about a year and a half of that, and then adding design in my minor for college after graduating, um getting into purple. And then at purple I was focused on tech packs initially, and then I got onto the industrial design team. So I spent about 3 years on the industrial design team, really honing and like focusing on the design process, and learning everything I could about the materials that they use in the mattress industry, that kind of thing. um,
Mm.
and you know then near the tail end of purple, my time at purple, I'd say like the last year and a half, is when I was like, all right. I was talking to people like you, I was talking to people like Daniel Shirley,
Yeah.
um, and being like, I remember I had a FaceTime call, or like a Zoom call with Daniel, and I was like, "Hey man, like, because initially I love that we had him on the podcast, because like he's been like a touchstone in my career. Like I feel like every 2 years we have like a catch up call where like I'm like following up on stuff he told me. And so when I first got the job at Purple, he was telling me, "Oh, it's great, continue to work and do things, add stuff to your portfolio." And then near like the last year and a half to 2 years at Purple, I called him and I was like, "Hey man, like I've got industrial designer on my resume now. I can claim all this and that." And then he just goes, I remember him. I'll never forget. He's like, "Yeah, that's cool, man. That's really great. But if you want to be in footwear, like if you spend 2 years in mattresses, you're the mattress guy." Uh, like, and
Yeah.
he was like, "That's what I got told at Nike. Is like when you spend 2 years in socks, you're the sock guy." And that's why I had to leave Nike to go, to Puma, and eventually earn my stripes as a designer for
Right.
footwear. And
Right.
so I'll never forget him saying that. And I was like, well, what do I do? Like, how do I get into footwear stuff if I'm working full time in mattresses? And that's when like I just started. I went to an industrial design showcase and I saw a kid who had like sprayed spray foam onto a sock, and I was like, I feel like that's like a rite of passage for a footwear designer to like try to do that. That's like the easiest way to make a shoe, is to like spray foam insulation on a sock.
Yeah.
And so I did it, and then from there it kind of just spitballed into me like hand making shoes, finding resources, taking a class from Mike Freeton, taking a class from Elizabeth Brock Jones,
Mm.
taking getting into pencil. And that's how we met, is like me kind of like trying to bounce ideas off of you for my application process, going to pencil, learning at pencil, which then broke way into getting this contract gig and another contract gig and another contract gig. And
Yep.
then all of that plus purple, meaning that a recruiter called me for this role, and I'm in Oregon now. So
Yeah.
it it's a long journey. And there was I we were talking offline before we recorded about how like this year this year I was gonna give up. Or no, we talked about it in the beginning. I was like,
Right.
I was doing everything but footwear design because I just couldn't find anything, and it was just too fatiguing. Like the job market these days, and the way that things get posted online, and if you know somebody versus you don't know somebody, and blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Like, but just trust, if you're trying to get into this and you're doing the things, you're improving yourself, you're improving the way that you interact with people, you're a team player, like your time will come. Just be patient. um
Yeah.
I don't even know where this is gonna head from here, but I'm just trying to live in the moment and be here
Yeah.
and be excited about it, because I am really excited about it. I'm living the dream every day. It's super funny because like I'm working with these people who've been here for like years, and I'm like I'm just cheesing all the time, and they're like,
Yeah.
everything. They're like, is everything okay? And I'm like, I know that this is just like a Tuesday for you, but like this is my dream.
Have you said that out loud?
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
So, and
You should.
I think the industry needs more people like that, because I think everyone gets into this industry, or a lot of people get into this industry because of the passion that they have for it, and for the product,
Mm-hmm.
and for the storytelling, and and being able to be creative but also make a living out of it.
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes you lose sight of that when you work at a company for a long time, and so you just reinvigorate people as you come in. That's
Yeah.
why it's important.
But Colin, also, since I moved to Portland, I've realized that some people work at Nike because it's like here. And it just like,
That's true.
that just like blows my mind that like, oh, well, I, graduated high school and went to college. And I was like, well, because it's just it's like a factory job or something. Like,
That's like Valerie, her episode where she's like, "Yeah, I was just like, I worked on Iron Man 3
yeah.
just because I was around."
And it's like unimaginable to me. Like, I don't know, and I'm sure I'm sure more people are at Nike with that kind of vision than the other side, where they're like, well, I just worked here because it's a job
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah,
Like I'm sure it has to be lopsided to like dreamers, like
yeah,
just
yeah.
has to be. I just refuse to believe it's any other way.
Oh no, there's definitely like, I don't know, the feeling on campus is wonderful. Um, it feels like everybody wants to be there and to do
Hmm.
great work, and everyone is very stylish. I feel very
Oh yeah,
I feel very like I got to put on my best clothes, and like got to look the best, the most trendy. I got to wear the best shoes, like, so.
it's a thing, and I didn't realize it until, well, not to throw shade or anything, but it didn't matter at Brooks, like not at all. But when I was at Pencil and we
Oh
went over
yeah.
to the Adidas campus, the
Hmm.
couple times we're on the campus, I was like, oh, these people look pretty good,
These people are
pretty
dressed.
pretty sharp. They're as the young kids say, it was pretty drippy. It was pretty drippy on the Adidas campus, and I was like, man, is that how this is? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be that.
Subtle flexing, and it's
Like,
crazy.
I remember walking in the parking lot. We were like leaving, and this guy was walking with like Adidas Ultra Boost, like 4D,
Mm.
black head to toe,
Mm-hmm.
like black Adidas joggers, a black Adidas trench coat,
Mm-hmm.
nice like hair that was like, you could tell it was like professionally done. And
Right.
I was like, I don't know who that guy is, but like dang, because not only like that was at the time when like that 4D like wasn't really like it wasn't really out there yet, and I was like, man, like,
Crazy.
oof, I don't know about all this, but no, dude, that's awesome. I don't think we've had like your full story on
No, yeah, we should. Yeah, at some point it would be good to
which
talk about it.
I think I think we should go in depth more, but I think what you just said is pretty
That's
awesome.
yeah, that's the highlights really. It's like, you know, it's the realization of, because it was like 8 years ago. So I mean, we can go a little bit in depth. So I was in communications,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be a radio DJ. So
Nice.
the microphone is very familiar, the headphones, all of this is very familiar territory
Yeah.
for me. Because I sat down with my mom when I was a senior in high school. We were like signing up for college classes, and she was like, well, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to declare a major? Do you want to go undecided? Do you want to blah blah blah? She's like, it's going to be a lot faster if you decide now and then like just do the coursework than if you know, waffle and try to figure things out. And then, you know, obviously I'm paying for my own education, so my mom's kind of like, just so you know, like, like,
Yeah.
you know, this is your money that you're spending, so like you can take your time or not. And so I was like, okay, well,
That's a nice
um
mom ultimatum.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
like a
She's like,
solid,
she's
solid
like,
mom.
yeah, she was like, I'll help out with groceries and rent, but like the ultimately like paying for tuition's
Yeah.
you. And I was like, no, I understand. And I had kind of spent a few months near the end of high school kind of boiling my life down to these two things that I really love, which was making things and then telling stories, and talking with people. So it's like these two kind of forces in my life. You know, I was a Lego kid. I would always like, I use erector sets and build things, and it was always really fun for me. I know how to make things with my hands. It's just very natural for me. I have that kind of
Mm.
mindset. Um, and so, and what was funny was my mom was getting her master's degree, and as part of her master's degree, she had to watch the documentary Objectified. Have you watched
Yeah.
that? That's like the
Yeah.
classic like gateway industrial design
Yeah.
documentary. So I watched it with my mom, and I was like, dude, this is really cool. This is like probably exactly what I want to do with my life. But it also seems really difficult, and being a radio DJ seems like a lot easier.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? Let's declare the comms major right now. So we started signing up for comms classes, and then my mom noticed that in one of the classes for my major was a design class, and it was a graphic design class where you learned how to use Adobe Illustrator, InDesign, and Photoshop. Um, and she was like, hey, like your first semester, like I don't want you to give up on this, like this dream of like making things. Also, like let's sign you up for this class. It's part of your major, but it's also a design class, and you'll get to learn these programs that are really, you
Yeah.
know, going to be useful in your life. And I fell in love with using Adobe Illustrator, and I got really good at it. And my brother was a screen printing major, and over the summers I would make logos in Illustrator, and I would go to FedEx Kinkos and burn them on acetate, and we would burn them into screens, and all summer long we would make bootleg Supreme t-shirts and
Oh, dude.
just whatever we wanted, you know. And I would make logos for me and my brother. We wanted to start like a streetwear brand or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was like my first interaction being a designer for production, really, was making logos and then getting them burned, and then my brother producing the shirts. And so I was like, from that point, I really liked it. I just kind of kept it as a side hobby, making logos and stuff for friends or whatever.
Man.
And then I transferred from BYUI to BYU, and I got a job at the radio station. Shout out BYU Broadcasting. So I worked at a Sirius XM station for 3 years, and I did everything from board operation um, to talent work to eventually being the program director, which is essentially like I scheduled every minute of,
Yeah.
you know, scheduled playlist on air for a while. And through doing that, and then also getting further along in my major, which was news media broadcast producing, so as a producer,
Right.
I finally got to a point where I was like, I really don't like this. I really don't want to do this for my life. This is really kind of not what I want to be doing. You know, not that it's
Yeah.
boring, like, because I don't want to, you know, whatever. Other people really love it. I just didn't like it. I was like, if this is the career path I have to go towards, because initially my dream was like, I'm going to go work at NPR.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I talked to people who worked at NPR and all this other stuff. And I was like, that doesn't sound like what I want to do.
Right.
It doesn't sound fun. Doesn't sound creative. Sounds like what I'm doing right now. And so near the end of my college career, I had like maybe a year and a half or two left. And I tried to double major in industrial design, but the BYU program is very difficult and it's limited enrollment. And I go talk to my counselor, and she's like, you'd have to drop out of comms, which you're almost finished with, and
Yep.
then try to get into industrial design, and then you have to start all over again. You'd have
Yeah.
another 3 years to go. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like I can't afford that. And also,
Oh,
like, I'm almost done. So I
yeah.
added as many like little industrial design courses as I could through the industrial design, or actually, it was the design minor, which they
Yep.
only created so that the people who don't get into the professional program of ID can use their credits towards something.
Mm.
But I was able to add the minor and then weasel my way into a few of the classes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um, and then that's how I learned how to make a tech pack, because I already had this like 3 or 4 year experience with Adobe Illustrator, like super familiar, super comfortable with it. That's
Nice.
how I met Aaron Puglisi. He's the one who taught me the class on soft goods design. Through that
Nice.
class, I got my internship at an apparel startup. And then that's where I learned about being a developer and all this other stuff, just reaching out to
Yeah.
people to learn as much information as I could. So that's kind of like how I course corrected from doing radio to design. And then
Yeah.
ever since I said I don't want to do this anymore, I want to do design, I was like, I want to do footwear, because I worked
Yeah.
at Vans when I was in high school, and I worked at Foot Locker while I was working at the radio station. And I was like, I'm the top salesman at Foot Locker, but it's not because I'm like a schmoozer or whatever. It's just because like I knew a lot about the shoes.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, this knowledge is too useful. Like I can use it plus this want and need to build and make things to help people.
Yep.
And I can funnel that into a career in footwear. And that's where we are, man. We're at the first step
Yeah.
of realizing the last 8 years.
Yeah. Man. Um, it's I don't know, man. It's like a proud moment, like just hearing all this, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
uh it's hard to put anything into words, like, yeah, like it's like you put in the time, you stayed. And I also like that the difference between you and I is like, but I like this too. In some sense, I'm like, I kind of wish it was my story. Sometimes it's not, but and I'm fine. I'm not like really not really wishing it, but I really like that there's people who are coming from like these like complete opposite
Mm-hmm.
worlds,
Yeah.
and like 180 into like, okay, I want to get into footwear, and then like making it like you and John, I
Yeah.
think, are like kind of sitting in the same space.
Yeah.
But I think it makes for like a little bit more. I, I feel like it makes your perspective slightly more valuable. That like it wasn't your calling from like I was painting fine arts when I was like 8,
Yeah.
like it's like I just had this thing that I carried through. I actually was just talking to my mom about it, where I was like, one of my kids actually like exhibited a talent that I was like, that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like she like saw, like, she's only 4, so she
Mm-hmm.
saw like a bunch of blocks laying on the floor in our living room, like, the Duplos.
Mm-hmm.
She built it into a dog.
No
Like, she just
way.
thought, I want to make a dog, and imagined in her mind what a dog looked like, and built like, dude. And by the time it was done, the Duplo blocks looked like a dog, front legs, back legs, like
That's
in
amazing.
space, like she had registered that the base of a dog when it's sitting down is
He's like,
bigger than the head.
no way.
And so she had gone from like wide to narrow, and like
Mm-hmm.
had a nose and like eyes. And I was just like,
I didn't
looked at my
teach.
wife, I'm like, you
I
just
didn't
see
teach you that.
this? And so I was telling my mom about it, and she's like, "Well, you did the same thing." She's like, watching you grow up, I was like, "How are you seeing these things? Like, how
Yeah.
is this? How do you like look at like a stack? You know, like I'm looking at a stack of shoe boxes right now." She's like, "You would just look at that and just draw it,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'd
Yeah.
be like, "How is that even possible?" Like, and I'm like, "Well,
Dude,
it's
that's
easy.
amazing.
Well, you just draw what you see. Like that's what I've been told. Like, what do you see? Like,
Just draw it.
is the line going this way or that way? Like, it's what you see. Like, is what you
Yeah.
draw." And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but like just hearing, like you've had like the talents kind of all over the place, and you
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like had to grab them and like put them together.
Yeah.
Um, and I like that it's happening like later in life. Like, sure, you're building things
Mm-hmm.
and you're like seeing things, but you're like, I just like that it's not like the from the jump. Like,
Yeah, it's not a linear path. I mean, but a lot of
um,
people too that like have a story to me are like probably a little jealous. Like the jealousy is like not real, but it's also like,
yeah,
oh man, I wish I could have known from the jump that like that's what I wanted to do. So like,
right.
but at the same time, you're like, well, man, I wish I had the perspective to like to veer off here and there.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it would be fun to like have done something else in my life because this is all I've done. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
at one point I was like, I've always been like strong math,
Mm-hmm.
like, and I actually like did some like comp math stuff in high school,
Very
but
cool.
like it never. I was always like, you know what though, kind of good over here. Like I'm doing this thing. And once I learned that like if I stay in arts, I never have to go into like these upper level math classes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
never have to write the 9-page papers, the 10-page, the 20-page
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
college things. I was like, well, I think that's how I want to do this. Like I don't want to do all that stuff. It always just seems so
Yeah.
like arbitrary that a professor has to read like 40 or TAs or whoever has to
Yeah.
read like 40 20-page papers about the same subject.
Yeah.
Like it just seemed like it I just like didn't understand why I would ever do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it just made more sense to like learn how to create and make and
Yeah.
you like transition it that way.
I mean, it's so funny that you bring that up because I feel like that was like I comms, like communications, doing like news media and stuff like that. It's still like very creative, like
Yeah.
because you're still telling stories. And so like I remember like so my wife Hannah is obviously she's a doctor and she was pre-med when we were in undergrad. And I remember
Yeah.
her getting so mad and like frustrated because I never had to go to the testing center because I never had
Yep.
tests. I always had like either I had to like film and edit like a package for like for my final, or I
Yeah.
had to like write an essay. And I got
Yeah.
so good at writing essays, I could bang out a 5-page essay in probably 20 minutes, no matter what it was. I just got
Yeah.
so good at writing essays. But
Yeah.
Hannah would always have to like study, and then she'd be in the testing center for like 8 hours, not 8
Oh
hours,
my
but like
gosh.
4 hours, like doing these tests. And I'm like, well, it's a little different, right? Like, it's a different major, it's different things. And so I'm happy
Dude,
that
I
I
remember.
never had to do crazy tests like that. But,
Yeah.
it's creative, but in wordsmithing, it's
Yeah.
like,
Um I just remember walking by people in that testing center and I was like
you're like, is
God
that,
help you.
what is that?
Like,
Like, is
just
that
like with
Arabic? What do
books.
you,
They're just like with books, like looking up one and putting one down and picking up another one and like,
yeah.
and then like trying to like,
Or
I
dude,
was like,
seeing people who had like whole meals in there that are like, they're like taking their test while they're eating their meal and
yeah.
like, dude, I'm like, what are you
Oh,
doing, man?
oh,
Like, if I had a problem when I first started college is like, I had this thing in my head that if I couldn't finish a test in 30 minutes, then I was probably gonna fail it. And so I rushed through like my first semester ever. I rushed through every test, and I remember because you could come out and you can see your score on like the
oh
little
yeah.
monitor. And I
Yeah.
remember coming out and looking at it and it being like a 58 and being like, whoa, college is way different than high school. I was like, my first test ever is like absolute like F. Like,
Whoa.
I was like, oh, because I was like, I felt pretty good. I was like, you know what? I probably got like an 80
Yeah.
or 90 on that thing, dude. I see my like little ID number pop up, and I was like, 58. I was like, I've never gotten a score that low in my life.
Sheesh.
Oh man.
Hey, maybe I have a career in the arts.
I can't even remember what I can't even remember what like I think it was for stats or something.
Oh man, that's awesome. No, I never. I mean, man, I think maybe one time, I like narrowly missed an A, and I was like, dang, yo, I was on it right there. Like that's fire. like,
Oh,
I never saw an A come out of that building, and I didn't care.
man.
There was like a couple classes I intentionally I took a furniture class,
Ooh.
and I was like, I am going to do the bare minimum here because I'm trying to ace all these industrial design classes
Yeah.
because I'm trying to set myself up. This class means nothing. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
never going to make furniture, like whatever. And dude, so the professor was always about like just like old school furniture making, like getting
Low
in there with
shaker
like a
style.
chisel and just like
Oh yeah.
just like getting like this nice stuff. And or if you're gonna do like, like dresser or something, you're really gonna like get in there and just like finish details, duck or whatever, dovetail,
Dovetails, yeah,
and
yeah.
like just get it in,
Mortise and
like
tenon,
chisel them
mortise.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
Like and did you know what I did?
Mm.
Week before the final, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I gotta like make something for this. Like I hadn't gone to the class the whole semester. Like I went when they like told me I needed to show up.
Yeah.
I took like uh like three. I had my friend with a truck. We went to Home Depot. We got a 3/4 inch piece of plywood.
Yeah.
I took it to my buddy's laser cutter, like industrial laser cutter. I cut out like pieces of furniture and screwed them together, and it was just like boom, done.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
A D. I was like,
That's good.
dude, but I stained them. I finished them. I did work
You
on
did the
them.
thing, yeah.
But like dude, it was nice too. I threw it out like because it was heavy as crap. But
Yeah, I was gonna say.
but like I went like I got threaded rod, cut the holes in, got screws, and I made like it looked really nice, like
Yeah.
modern furniture
Oh,
design.
but this guy was like,
But this dude was like, dude, you can't come into my class and do it in 2 weeks. And I'm like, I just did. So can I not fail? Because there's furniture here. And some
that's
kids,
so funny.
like some kids' stuff isn't even dry. like,
Their stuff doesn't even hold weight. Try to sit on that chair. I dare you.
yeah, I was like, dude, nothing's getting through this metal rod, my friend. Like,
That's crazy.
dude, it was
one of my favorite classes ever was a wood shop class.
Yeah.
I did
But
a clock
oh,
out of black walnut.
very nice.
I gave it to a girlfriend at the time, and my mom was mad.
Yeah.
My mom was like, "That's my clock. That was supposed to be for me." And then my girlfriend, like, I broke up with her, and she gave it to me, and my mom was like, "Finally,
Yeah.
I have my clock back."
Hey, does Mama still have that clock?
Yep, it's hanging up. It's hanging up in the house.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
The other thing I was gonna say, and then we can wrap it up, but
Yeah.
no, man. The thing that I hope everyone heard in the beginning of your story, though, was on your road to Nike, you sought opportunities to learn footwear, and like, and you took them. Like, there was. I remember talking to you, and there was some you didn't take, but the ones that made sense, you grabbed them, and you tried your hardest. And the people didn't even like, you're broken up about this guy or this guy, not taking you on,
Yeah.
or this company that passing you by, or you did contract work and it ended up, not being used, or what,
Yeah.
whatever the case is, like that doesn't matter. But you took the opportunity. You saw pencil and you said, "Hey, I'm gonna get into that." You took advice from me and others like Daniel,
Hmm.
and you built your experience there. And like, yeah, like you didn't have like footwear design experience yet,
Yeah.
but that's like the point is like in college and you know in the pathway to a career, I think you'll find a lot of people do things for like nothing.
Hmm.
Like just give me a chance, I'll do it for free is like often what you hear. Like
Yeah.
and so while you made money in some of those things, pencil you didn't, but
Yeah.
it's like it's all on the pathway like to getting to this point. And I feel like that was kind of my road to college. Like I didn't just get it, I got denied like
Yeah.
almost every college. And so like I'm like going to a community college and I'm thinking I'm not going to be anything because I have to go to a JUCO and
Hmm.
who cares about me. But like kind of like BYU and kind of like Nike, I think they want to see that you have this like, I mean, now you have 8 years of like things you've done
Yep.
that, that you can just say like, "Hey, I've been a professional designer, but hey, I've also hit a bunch of contracts, but hey, like,
Hmm.
um, and I think people just like to see that you are committed.
Yeah.
And then when you do get that interview, you hit them with the, "Hey, I've loved Nike since birth." Like, and,
I was born with a
um,
pair of Cortezes on my feet.
yeah, like, hey, um, sweet. But hey, like before we take off, dude, is there anything from campus that you just like saw that you didn't expect and you were just like, holy crap? Is there anything on that?
Oh.
Like, I know there's a couple of things I saw that I was like, man, they don't talk about this. Like
Oh. I
not
mean,
like secret stuff, but like, I got led into the lobby of Michael Jordan building and they were like,
hmm.
check this out. And I was like, it's like this shrine to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this
I mean, I
uh
think I think Prefontaine Hall is open to the public some of the time. Like if
yeah,
you're ever around Nike campus, just go to if you're at like a Nike history head like me, like Prefontaine Hall has like the waffle iron, it has,
yeah,
photographs, it has like a cut off of the original like, VW bug bus or the VW bus and
yeah,
that's beautiful. Yeah, I mean just all of it really. I mean
yeah,
I had taken a tour of campus like in 2018
yeah,
because I knew some Hannah had a family member who worked there and they gave us a tour, but it was like before the Serena Williams building or the LeBron James building had been built yet.
yeah,
And so I work in one of those buildings. I will not say which.
yeah.
Like
It's
but
fine.
no, and then also just the fact that like I think every building has food at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like there's like a craft services like cafeteria style and like on your lunch break, like you just go downstairs and just like there's food there to
Yeah.
to buy. And it's like and it's not that it's like bad food. It's not like I'm used to Purple where they're like, hey, there's a little Caesar's pizza on the
Yeah.
on the break room table. Like go get a slice.
Yeah.
It's it's like there's a food service there to like serve you food. They call your
Yeah.
name. It's like it's like it's like IKEA. It's like, like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that's
I
one
think
thing that was like really surprising to me, but it makes total sense because like everybody's so busy and it's like getting off campus to go get
yeah.
food like takes a while anyway.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing, everybody's so fast. Like everybody walks fast, everybody talks fast, everybody like responds fast. Like everything is fast.
Ooh.
It's just like everything's moving. And if you find time that you're chilling, it's like you got to fill it with something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah.
That makes sense. Um yeah. Dude, I just remember doing that campus tour and I saw someone walking around in a pair of unreleased like Jordans and
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
that's not those never came out.
Those never
Like
came out. Where'd you get
I
those?
know one's pretty good. I was like what is that?
Oh,
Yeah,
there's a bike shop. There's a bike shop on campus. That I didn't know. That was
yeah.
wild. Like I saw like a mechanic like working on bikes like through the window. I was like, and then I mistakenly took a picture of the bike shop like front door or whatever, and people
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, you're working on campus as a bike mechanic?" And I'm like,
Oh gosh.
I'm like, no. I was like, I know I just spent the last year working at a bike shop.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you're here. You're the bike guy. You're here for that. It's like, dang.
Yeah. So, but
Uh,
that was cool. That was cool.
I hear there's also a barber on campus, and you can go get a
Yeah.
haircut.
I think
Get
I
a
think
swoosh and
I think
like
it's called the
back
Air
here.
Salon. I think it's called the Air Salon. But yeah,
Of
I haven't
course.
been there, but I think like I think I saw something about it. Yeah.
You
I think there is
probably
one.
should go once.
Get a fresh
Yeah.
lineup. Get my
Yeah.
line.
Um, dude, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, look, and it kind of goes to show like you can not just be the mattress guy. It's behind you now. It's
Exactly.
behind.
You don't need to be the mattress guy.
And to be honest with you, I think that, I think he has a point, Daniel, but if it's a far enough in your past, like I don't even think of purple when I see you. Like I don't,
Yeah.
because
No.
you've never like it. It's just
It's not part
you're
of like
shoe
my
guy.
yeah, exactly. It's not part of my process or my thought process at all. And I really the only reason why I remember that, and I think if you're listening at home and you're, putting, whatever word in for mattress, like you're the whatever. You're
Yeah,
the retail guy, you're the whatever guy, and you
pizza
or
guy.
gal or whatever. You want to be the designer person.
Yep.
Um all that did for me when I talked to Daniel about it was he basically told me like the experience you're getting is valuable, yes, and you are a designer, yes. But when it comes to like a highly specified industry like the footwear industry, they like to see that you've also worked in footwear.
Mm,
And it was my opportunity to be like, I have time still to get there. Let me see what I can do to put that on my resume. Like, let me see what I can do to put that in my experience list. Um,
mm,
I think that's like a particular skill that I think is really valuable for people to learn is to understand what you need to get to where you want to go and get that thing. Like
yeah.
get the steps to where you want to go. Um and then people can't deny it. So, that's
Yeah.
exactly what Dan did. Like someone told Dan that if he worked in socks for 2 years, he's the sock guy. So you said, "Okay, I'm leaving and
Yeah.
I'm going to go be a footwear designer." you
Yep.
know and eventually his path may cross with Nike or another brand again, but like right now he's a senior footwear designer. you know and so that just goes to show like it's okay to have experience in other areas, but when it comes to footwear design specifically,
Yep.
having a bit of a proven track record or at least the start of one is going to be really important.
Yeah. But you went and got it.
Yeah.
Like Freetown, LaSalle,
Mm-hmm.
Pencil.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all on there.
Can't get boxed. All right, that's a good episode. Let's call it. Basically, because we got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a work
hey,
day still.
man.
It's a work day.
Yeah. So, hey, dude, excited to have you come up.
Yep.
Congrats again for breaking the fourth wall.
Thank you.
That is the Nike wall. And
I didn't say Nike once this entire thing, so I don't know what you're talking about.
oh, sorry. What? Oh, we did. Come on, man. Hey, well, congratulations, dude. And um, looking for great stuff. And we'll be grabbing everybody. We'll get some hot in-person episodes of this show.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, keep it rolling. All right. Anything else?
That's tech packs are due, baby.
Yeah, chase your dreams.
Chase your dreams.
That's maybe that'll be the episode title. No, it's not. It's gonna be Colin the The
The
footwear
mattress
material
guy.
designer. It might be. I don't know what it is. I'll think of something catchy so people will come listen to you because that was great. So, all right, like and subscribe, people. Just keep it going. We'll catch you next time.